Well, here is the Boulevard Mall on this day, late May 2024. And we have just one last little look here before they eventually somehow got this out. I don't know what their exact plan is, but this is after H&M that was right here closed, itself being an older store. They took out the various booths that's set up in front of here. Bed Bath and Body Works was in there, and the T New York. This is the part of the concourse that they're going to be removing, so far as I know. Put some comments below if you know of anything else. And so, I mean, up until a couple of weeks ago, this area was fairly busy, but as you can see, the various booths have been removed. The book outlet thing finally closed up completely here. You know, it's a fairly thriving place. This was, of course, the Abercrombie and Fitch. These guys might still be operating online. Anyways. We still have mall walkers here, but that's about it.
When you were kind of like walking back, because the look on your face was like this.
Yeah, I always like coming off of this. So, coming off that little stage. That's a neat floor pattern there. Some of the leftover furniture from the olden days. Customer service was over here at one point. Their mall offices being right there. It's kind of hard to put into words what this closing means, because I mean, I find it very convenient, the mall concept. I mean, you park once, and you do most of your shopping here. That's what it was. So, never understood quite. I mean, I know the reasons why a lot of the malls have shut down. Many of them. There were too many of them. Poor management, rentals, and site complications, changing demographics. Yeah, there's a bunch of reasons why malls failed. But I still think the concept could have evolved nicely over time. And they have. In other parts of the country, they have evolved and added other things, unorthodox things sometimes, to make it a more varied experience for people to go through. But this one never did. Yes, they removed the best part of it, actually, which was the food court, which was right there where the Dick's is now. And guess what that was? Of course, Spencer's. Walden Books was either in that store or the next one over. I believe that one was the Walden Books right there. So, These guys have already long gone. Yeah, anything off in the southern half of the mall, pretty much the southern 2/3 of the mall is gone. From the fountain on, I guess the concourse is still open, although the gates at Penny's is closed off for some reason. So, yeah. Suppose you just enjoy the views here. Leave behind any comments or memories of when you grew up around here in the Amherst, Niagara Falls Boulevard area. What did you think about this? Do you remember when this place was a plaza? Like this whole area from about here on was an outdoor plaza, and then they roofed it over and built off of it and changed it. Very, very different from when it started. Long ago, this was Western New York's first mall of the sort we know now. And one of the last to shut down, it turns out, in this area, besides the Outlets Mall and the Galleria. They're the only malls we'll have left. Well, you know the Macy's is coming up because you can smell the perfumes from here. This is the sort of video I wish I would have taken of the Summit Mall, but back then I didn't have a phone like this to do it with, so etc. This was Sattler's outlet, or a suburban outlet of it. There used to be 30-foot high palm trees that stood in this area here. And they used to stand 2 or 3 at a time in each of these. These are fake. These didn't come, these weren't here when I was here in Little. Used to be big palm trees. That's why these lights are so big and they point up like that. And like those guys over there, they point basically way up. That's because they used to light up the sides of the trees, and they used to go all the way up to not quite touch the ceiling, but they grew really tall. And that's why these skylights are here. They're not just here to light up the space. The skylights were and are here originally to light the palm trees that used to be here. So imagine these great big palm trees standing here on these and out of these circles in the ground. Then they replaced them with these things, which are nice, but that's not what they were designed for. But again, that's why these lights point straight up like that, and why they're so big. It's because they were designed to originally light up the whole trunk of these big trees that stood here. And I think there were 12 of them, 12 sets of them. These are 2 more. And right here we see the original tile flooring. When it was first converted into a mall, they installed this first. And this circle must have contained something at some point originally. Slightly different configuration anyways than you're seeing now. All this you're seeing here was all renovated later on by the 90s or so. But it did look different. I don't have anything on me now to show you, but this is part of the original tile work, and you can tell this was an old booth because when they removed it a year or so ago, they revealed the old tile work. And it must have been a very old booth because they put down the new tile over the top of the old. It had been here that long. I think this was the Piercing Pagoda at last call. But you can see the original tile work and how excellent the quality of that tile has been. It's really good thick tile. And that's when this place was initially converted from an outside plaza into an indoor mall. And this was on the outside originally. Of course, it's all been mirrored over and redone to look like it never was, but that was originally an outside entrance right here. And this is where the parking lot would have been, out here, starting about here. And these stores had yet to come in. Well, the mall itself has aged quite a lot by now. Although they tried, they updated it nicely, and we came here for many years. Here's two more of the circles where the big palm trees used to be. They were really something else too. I mean, fully grown palm trees standing 30, 35 feet high right there. Roughly. I figure I might as well go the whole way here. A lot of these stores have changed so much I don't quite remember what a lot of them were. The anchor stores, yes, but not so much the ones in between. This right here, at the end, however, was a Sibley's, and then it became Kaufman's, and then it became Macy's, but the Macy's men's store. I went here a lot of times to get things. And here, of course, is JCPenney's and its interesting front entranceway. Here looking north. The Stanley Cup was displayed in here in the late 90s. There were long lines going out the store right here, and we and my family stood out there, and we lined up along here to go into the entrance and where the Sephora thing is in there, the perfumes and makeup and all that. Where that is now is roughly where the Stanley Cup was on display, making a visit to Western New York, and we were all sorts of excited to see that. Eventually, Macy's consolidated itself over to the Fountain store, which was essentially the women and kids store and all that, and then it's been empty ever since over here. And yes, on top of the fountain during Christmas time, that's where the singing bears were. Later, they were replaced with a big Christmas tree. Thank goodness. Those things kind of creep me out. Don't know where the singing bears went. They were probably sold off. And there was an old shoe shop in here that was one of the original tenants to the mall, and it stayed here for a long time. Right now I'm drawing a blank, but that's where it was. He had the fire engine front in there, and they were in business for many years. Parents got a lot of shoes and other things from there for a long time. Can you imagine this whole space filled with 12 different sets of big palm trees filling this space? It was nice. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Please like and share and subscribe to my little wandering videos here. I appreciate it. This is Justin Hegner, Town of Wheatfield Town Historian, exploring the Boulevard Mall. May 20th, 2024.